collection of the Spizzwinks seniors and recent alumni. We're really excited to be here. And as soon as the aisle is clear, without further ado, we are excited to announce the Yale Spizzwinks.
The freshmen trembling on their couches lie. Wake, wake, freshmen, wake. Wake while our song smites the sky. For now, and beneath you, we heartily give you a welcome into Delta Beta's eye. While some sadly wonder, still others wonder why we their doors in silence let pass by. But oh, fortunate time, oh, terrible time, who hear the mystic call of Beta's eye. Wake, wake, freshmen, wake, wake while our song smites the sky. For now, here beneath you, we heartily give you a welcome into Delta Beta. Hey!
We are the Yale Spizzwinks. We are America's and the world's oldest underclassmen a cappella group, founded all the way back in 1914. We are so excited to be here today to feature our brand new first years. I'm going to get all their names right now. It's going to go great. Sebastian, Nikhil, John, and Eamon. Yay, I did. So you're going to hear a bit from them, you're going to hear a bit from us, and we are so excited to debut their solos for you guys. So up first, this is going to be Some Nights by the band Fun, featuring John Paciga.
Yeah. Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a drop. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they just fall off. But I still wake up, I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. Oh, what do I stand for? Sometimes I don't know anymore. This is it, boys, this is what are we waiting for? Why don't we break the rules already? I was never one to believe the hype, say that all the black and white. I tried twice as hard and I'm happy as life, but will I come again to jack my style? And that's alright. I found a martyr in my bed tonight. She keeps my bones from wondering just who I am, who I am, who I am. Oh, who am I? Some nights I wish that this all would end, 'cause I could use some friends for a change. And some nights I'm scared you'll forget me again. Some nights I always win, but I still wake up, I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. Oh, what do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore. Whoa, whoa. This one is not for the folks at home. Sorry, mama had to go. Who the hell wants to die alone? No, try to bid the desert sun. Some nights I stay up, passion in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a drop. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they just fall off.
opportunity to get to share the first year's debut solo with the Spizzwinks with their friends and family, but it's the perfect opportunity for us to embarrass them in front of their friends and family. So over the past few days, I've done a little digging into each of the first year's social media, from YouTube to Facebook to Instagram, all the really, really good stuff. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about John right now. So John is a very prolific songwriter. Going into the group, we all knew that from his auditions. He told us about, writing songs, and he has a very large presence on Instagram and YouTube. He markets his stuff pretty well, I must say. And he has all these like professionally done videos with, actors and like cool wide shots, and like it's all very, very professional, and it's very, very impressive. That being said, there's one video I found that's very, very confusing for me. It is the song Tickling the Ivories. It is a song about, out of all the stress of life, it's just really nice to, have music to sort of relieve all of that stress. And so the song, it shifts between him playing in like an auditorium in front of a crowd and random shots of him in New York City. Now, it's not like he's just in one location in New York City. He's in 5 different locations in New York City. I don't know how long this took to film, but he's in like Coney Island, Washington Square Park, Times Square, the Brooklyn Bridge. Like, it's insane. But the crazy thing is that he changes outfits every shot. Like every 2 seconds, it shifts to him in a different outfit, and it's like baffling because they're all different colors, and like it's every 2 seconds, so it's really distracting to the guy. But anyway, so the first shot is in Coney Island, like wearing like a really nice winter coat. It looks like it's a cold day. Then 2 seconds later, he's on the Brooklyn Bridge in like a short sleeve flannel, which is like very, very weird. And then the next shot, he's wearing a long sleeve shirt in Times Square, and then he starts like dancing with this, was it like this random guy you found in Times Square? Like with drumsticks or something like that? Yeah. And then the next shot is like back to the winter coat, but he's in Washington Square Park. So it's just like this crazy, crazy video, but like really, really well done, to say that. And so another, one of my favorite lyrics in the song is that he says like, someday I'll travel the world, which is very, very fitting for the Spizzwinks because over the next 3 years, we're going to travel with him all around the world, and we're very, very excited to hear more of his music and more of his really, really wonderful personality over the next few years. So that's that. So up next, our next first year solo is going to be Sebastian Roizner-Rodriguez. So Sebastian was a little hard to find because he doesn't have like a huge social media presence like John does, but I found some really, really nice, interesting things. He's a pretty wholesome guy, like on the surface. His first post on Instagram was a GoFundMe page for like him like trying to get books to Columbia, which like was very powerful and I'm sure really personal to him. And then there was a video of him giving a speech at a Martin Luther King Day dinner. And then there was another video, a 20-minute video of him and his friends discussing the book 1,000 Splendid Suns. And when I mean 20 minutes, I mean 20 minutes of them just sitting on a couch and discussing this book. I now know a lot about the book from watching that video. But my favorite video I found was a video of him he went to St. John's Prep, and it was a senior reflections video. So I guess he's leaving high school, he's talking about, his legacy and what he's going to carry with him through college, and there were some very good quotes that I'd just like to read for you now. He said, "I'm confident that I'm not confident in anything." A little food for thought there. He also said, "I love to embrace ideas that you don't necessarily agree with, but then as a result, you get better ideas." So, another food for thought. And then the ending of this video was also really nice. It was just a very classic, like, slow-mo candid shot of him laughing. And who doesn't love that? It's just like a slow motion rocking back and forth laughing, and it was just the most wholesome thing, and I just really, really enjoyed that. Sebastian has been a wonderful guy to get to know over the course of these very short 2 to 3 weeks, and we're so excited to have him in the group. So this is going to be Sebastian on I Heard It Through the Grapevine.
How I knew about your plans to make me blue. with some other girl that you knew before. Between the two of us guys, you know I love you more. It took me by surprise, I must say, when I found out yesterday. Yeah, I heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine. Yeah, yeah, I heard it through the grapevine. And I'm just about to lose my mind, honey, honey, yeah. Oh, I know the man ain't supposed to cry, but these tears I can't hold inside. Losing you in my life, you see, because you mean that much to me. You could have told me yourself that you love, baby, someone else. Heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine. Yeah, yeah, I heard it through the grapevine. And I'm just about to lose my mind, honey, honey, yeah. Heard it, grapevine, longer, be mine. Whoa, yeah, people say believe half of what you see. Ooh, son, and none of what you hear. So why can't I help but be confused? So if it's true, please tell me, dear, did you plan to let me know about that other guy that you loved before? I heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine. Yeah, yeah, I heard it through the grapevine. I'm just to lose my mind, honey, honey, yeah. Whoa, whoa.
So up next is going to be Nikhil Harle. Now, Nikhil was also a little tricky because he doesn't have the largest social media presence, but he has a lot of pictures and videos of him studying with the Midwest Institute of Opera, and so Nikhil is such a talented singer, beautiful voice, and I'm very excited to see him on stage one day in an opera. But I think the peak of his acting career was his A.P. Lang senior project, which is on YouTube. It is called The Quantum Killer. So a very brief synopsis of what this is about. Nikhil plays a detective, like a very sassy detective, I think Sherlock Holmes, and he is investigating these suicides/murders that are happening in this town, and they're being perpetrated by this hooded figure called the Quantum Killer. That this hooded figure takes the face of whoever he or she kills. So it's, you know, it's a little weird. But Nikhil plays this really sassy, know-it-all detective, and it's really cool because Nikhil's such a nice guy. So it's really nice to see him come out with this acting as just very very confident detective. And so I have some very iconic lines I got from the video. So when someone compliments him on his work as a detective, Nikhil goes "I'm just talented, what can I say?" And I wish I could emulate just the amount of sass in that comment. It was absolutely extraordinary. He also, there was this really funny moment where he's studying this phone, he's looking at evidence, and he's studying it for 10 seconds, there's silence, and then he just goes, "Do any of you rock climb?" Out of nowhere! Out of nowhere! And then it wasn't relevant for the rest of the video, so I'm very curious as to what rock climbing had to do with him solving this mystery. Lastly, he said something very pointed to one of his detective buddies who was saying "Man, you've gone too far." Oh no, the detective friend was saying "I need you to help me out more with this case." And Nikhil, in a fit of rage, just goes, "I'm a detective, not a personal assistant." Wow, really scathing. That being said, I'm sure Nikhil's acting career goes way beyond this A.P. Lang senior project. And I'm so excited to get to know him better as an opera performer. I'm sure I will be seeing him up on stage one day, as with the rest of us, and we are so, so excited to have him in the group this year. So this is Nikhil on the Beatles classic, Blackbird.
these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. Learn to fly, blackbird fly, blackbird fly. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird
Once, upon a time, there was an office building deep within the office building. There lived a printer named Sebastian. The Sebastian was a sad printer because he could not print. Because he was jammed with paper named Nikhil. The Sebastian and the Nikhil were very, 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 very close. This was unfortunate, considering that there was an intern named John. John tried to unjam the Sebastian by kicking it
forcefully. But instead, he also became jammed. Needless to say, things weren't looking good. Suddenly, in walked John's boss, named Eamon. Eamon threatened to fire John unless he could unjam the Sebastian and also himself. John pulled himself free, but ricocheted off of Eamon, who fell into the Sebastian and became jammed until John ricocheted back into the Sebastian and also became jammed. Meanwhile, the Nikhil caught on fire. But he was just seeking attention. The lesson is never, ever, 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 ever trust an intern.
So our last, but certainly not least, first year soloist is going to be Eamon. So I had, looking through Eamon's Facebook page, there's just a lot of STEM things going on. And everyone who's in the group knows that I have nothing to do with STEM. My parents hate me for it because I majored in theater, but it's okay. I found a lot of robotic stuff on Eamon's page, and I didn't know that Eamon was into robotics because he was on this incredible team of like 30 people building this robot called Miss Daisy 341. I have no idea what the meaning behind the name is, but it's incredible. There was this minute-long promotional video for, I guess they were competing in this tournament, and this minute-long video was trying to like hype up the robot. And I guess if you see like really wide shots of like, you know, robots like doing their thing, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of overwhelming. Like they like go over here, they do like flip a bottle of water or whatever, and you know, that's it. This video made the robot feel like it was the coolest thing ever. It was set to Demi Lovato's Confident, which for any of you who know that song, it's a bop, like, and it's like really intense. And so the robot was like close-ups of the robot, like going over like the tiniest ridge, but it was so cool because it was like close-up, and anyway, but the robot was also like doing pull-ups. It was like this whole thing, and I can't even imagine how cool Eamon must have felt working on that project. But the other thing is that like he did a lot of promotion for his like robotics team. Like there was like a Chipotle fundraiser and everything. And I even watched this promotional video where like every person on the team introduced themselves just in quick succession. Clips of the video. Hi, I'm David. Hi, I'm blah blah blah. I'm blah blah blah. And then it gets to Eamon and he goes, hi, I'm Eamon. This is how it went. Hi, I'm Eamon. And he laughs. He was the only one who in this like short video clip, he laughed at the end of his. I don't know if that was a video editor's fault or if it was just because it was the last name on the list, but it was very bizarre, but really funny because I feel like it fits Eamon's personality somehow. But my favorite thing on his Facebook page is that he writes, is a random status. Hey guys, there's a really cool new startup called Lace Up Shoes that is being released pretty soon. It is a search engine for shoes to help find you the lowest prices out there. If you're interested, make sure you follow laceupshoes.io. Really nice, PSA. But he got roasted in the comments section. He's like, oh, how much did they pay you to say that? And then he responded with like, you know what? They should have paid me to say that. I earlier found out that it was for a friend and he was trying to gain traction. So it was a very, very good deed that he made this Facebook status update. But so that's Eamon. I'm very, very interested to have more conversations with him about robotics because I don't know how to build a robot. I know how to act like a robot, that's the thing. But I'm very, very excited to get to know Eamon, as are all of us. And we are so, so happy to have him in the group. So this is going to be Eamon on Gavin DeGraw's Not Over You.
That's where I have to go to see your beautiful face anymore. I stare at a picture of you and listen to the radio. Hope there's a conversation where we both admit we had it good. But until then, it's alienation. I know that much is understood. And I realize if you ask me how I'm doing, I would say I'm doing just fine. I would lie and say that you're not on my mind. Then I go out and I sit down at a table set for two. So finally I'm forced to face the truth. No matter what I say, I'm not over you. Not over you. Damn girl, you do it well. And I thought you were innocent. You took my heart and put it through hell. But still you're magnificent. I'm a boomerang. Doesn't matter, throw me. Turn around and I'm back in the game. Even better than the old game. But I'm not even close to that you. If you ask me how I'm doing, I would say I'm doing just fine. I would lie and say that you're not on my mind. Then I go out and I sit down at a table set for two. So finally I'm forced to face the truth. No matter what I say, I'm not over you. And if I was strength to renew, you know there isn't a thing I wouldn't do. I would get back on the right track, but only if you'd be convinced to. So until then, if you ask me how I'm doing, I would say I'm doing just fine. I would lie and say that you're not. Then I go out and I sit down at a table set for two. So finally I'm forced to face the truth. No matter what I say, I'm not over you. Not over you. Not over you. Not over you.
been a terrific audience, so I thought we'd take a brief break from the singing to tell you all a quick little story. Now, this is a completely true story that happened to me and the Spizzwinks not too long ago, when we were about to depart for our fantastic summer tour to, among other places, Johannesburg, South Africa. Now, the first thing you should know about me is I'm not very smart. See, I stayed up really late the night before our flight, and when I woke up, I found that, much to my deep and abiding shame, the Spizzwinks had left without me. I was in a complete state of panic. I had no idea what I was going to do, so I did what any of you probably would have done. I ran to the nearest airport, and I hopped on the first flight I could find, thinking that, naturally, that plane would take me from New Haven, Connecticut, all the way to Johannesburg, South Africa. But when I got off that plane, I found I was not on the warm, welcoming, relatively safe streets of Johannesburg, no. I was on the mean, mean streets of Cambridge, Massachusetts! Now, as some of you may know, Cambridge is home to a small, unimportant, middle-aged, gentleman please. It's called Harvard. May I remind you, Harvard is the finest correctional facility on all of the East Coast. So as I wandered those cobbled streets of Cambridge, trying not to run into that famous Harvard alum, the Unabomber, I noticed a small crowd beginning to gather.
Gather, gather, gather!
And off in the distance, there was a house on fire!
Fire!
Flames were leaping everywhere! That wasn't the most astonishing part, no. For there atop that burning building, wreathed in smoke, there stood a beautiful Harvard grad student. And she was holding her 6-month-old baby. And she was shouting, help me, somebody save me and my baby! Well, the crowd thought for a moment. And then the cleverest one among them shouted, jump, it's your only chance.
Jump, it's your only chance!
They were a small but relatively well-organized crowd. Oh, but it's far too far! We'll never make it! She shouted. Well, the crowd was pretty exasperated. But being intrepid souls, they thought a moment more. And then, assuming really, really uncomfortable thinking positions, they thought for an indefinite period of time. Suddenly, inspiration struck. Throw the baby, they shouted, at least we can save the baby.
Throw the baby, at least we can save the baby!
Oh, but who will catch him? He'll splatter on the ground like an egg, or a hefty bag filled with chicken broth. Seemingly, all hope was lost. But then, just then in that very grim time, there stepped forth from that crowd the incredible, the inimitable, the indomitable, the incomparable, Andover Exeter III. He's so big! And Andy here wasn't your average Harvard schmo. Andy was the star wide receiver for the Harvard Crimson football team. And Andy wasn't about to drop that baby, because Andy never drops nothing.
Nope.
And so our hero decided to warm up with a few brief but invigorating stretching exercises. And then a Harvard cheerleader stepped forth from that crowd to wish Andy a few words of moral encouragement.
Go, Andy.
And it seemed that was all our hero needed, for at last, Andy was ready!
Hi-ya!
That crowd was ready!
Hi-ya!
Even that tiny baby in its mother's arms atop that burning building wreathed in smoke, that little baby was ready! And so our Harvard mother faded back for what was about to become the most important pass of her young yet tragically unfulfilled life. And she threw that baby. It was a perfect spiral. It went to the right. It went to the left. And seemingly defying all known laws of physics, it went back to the right again. And with a dive, Andy caught that baby. Oh, but he was so excited that he spiked it. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a moral to every story, and I believe this story's moral should be quite clear. That is exactly what happens when you or a loved one goes to Harvard. Thank you. Fear not, because the Harvard bashing is not yet over. So as many of you know, we Yale have a rival, Harvard. Let's try that one more time. Harvard! Well, we play in a football game that's so big every year we just call it the game. It doesn't matter if we're 10-0 or 0-10 this season. If we beat Harvard, it's a really good year. And as probably all of you can tell, none of us are actually on the football team. So every year before the game, we like to cheer on the team the best way we know how, which is through song. So we're going to sing for you a medley of Yale football fight songs, aptly entitled the Yale Football Fight Song Medley.
Undertaker, another job for the casket maker. In the local cemetery, they are very, very busy with a brand new grave. No hope for Harvard. No hope for Harvard. Mama bingo, 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 bingo. That's the lingo. There's to be a victory, so watch the team begin. Well, bingo, bingo. Harvard's team cannot prevail. Fight, fight, fight with all your might for bingo, bingo. Good night for Harvard. Harvard, good night. Oh, we've got your number 2. High as a kite. Oh, good night for Harvard. You're tucked in tight when the big blue team gets after you. Harvard, Harvard, good night. March, march on down the field, fighting for Eli. Break through that crimson line, their strength to defy. We'll give a long cheer for Eli's men. We're here to win again. Harvard's team may fight till the end, but Yale will win. Bullock, Bullock, bow, wow, wow, Eli, Yale. Bullock, Bullock, bow, wow, wow. Our team can never fail. When the sons of Eli break through that line, that is the sign we hail. Bulldog, Bulldog, bow, wow, wow, Eli,
So our second to last song here is a very, very special song to the Spizzwinks. This is going to be Loch Lomond, our traditional Spizzwinks song of brotherhood. We only sing this song on very, very special occasions. Sometimes if we're on tour and we reach a really cool location, like if we're hiking to the top of the mountain, or we were just recently in South Africa, we went to like the bottom of a cave, and we sing this song every time just the spirit feels right and the group feels particularly connected. We sing this song at every one of our hometown concerts whenever we go to a member's hometown, and it seems very fitting that we sing this song here today in Dwight Hall at our family weekend concert for all of the Spizzwink families who are here to celebrate our newest brothers. Speaking on behalf of the group, I couldn't be more excited to share the next few years with you guys. So without further ado, this is Loch Lomond.
Bright on Loch Lomond.
That does bring us to the last song of our set. But before we sing it, I would just like to say, after we finish singing, please exit Dwight Hall as quickly as possible. We have another concert starting at 3:30, so we want to clean up and just set up right before that happens. So yes, this is our traditional Spizzwink alumni song. So if there are any Spizzwink alumni in the audience, we'd like to invite them up on stage.
But no regrets, although you found somebody new. No regrets, sweetheart, no matter what you say or do. I know our love will linger while the other one gets to us. So I will say goodbye with no regrets. I've got no regrets, although love is not a fair, not a strain, no regrets, no heart. I'll still care while I'm far away. Somehow our happy romance ends. Maybe so suddenly, but you'll always be a part of my. No matter whatever you say, I got no regrets. No regrets, although somebody new may look so good to you. I've got no regrets.